What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spread the Positive podcast. I am your host, Trent Denson, founder of Spread the Positive and STP Productions, where our mission is to bring light to what's going right and to showcase and facilitate efforts that are making a positive impact in our local communities and beyond. Be sure to check us out, spreadthepositive.net. And also, if you're looking to get involved with the STP Podcast Network, please reach out and just check out all the amazing shows that are on the network. We continue to grow. We continue to build. Be part of the solution. Be part of what's going right. Welcome to the show.
Hey, my name is Brian Nell. I'm a mortgage loan officer with Primis Mortgage. I want to tell you that I absolutely love being a member of the Spread the Positive Network. It's such a great mission and helps bring so much positivity to our community. It's truly be a pleasure to be a part of what they do. There are a lot of ways to navigate financing a home, and in markets like this, having the advice of a trusted local professional is key to making sure you get the right advice for your specific circumstances. Whether you're interested in the purchase of a new home, second home, or have a need for a refinance, I'd love to earn your trust. If I can help you nail your mortgage, call me at 615-243-3976 or visit nailyourmortgage.com.
Primis Mortgage is a subsidiary of Primis Bank, a member FDIC, equal housing opportunity. As always, all loans are subject to approval. Primis Mortgage, NMLS number 1894879.
This episode of the Spread the Positive podcast is brought to you by the 1200 Club supporters. Huge shout out to our good friends, Mary Fugit with Gateway Title. For all of your real estate closing needs, be sure to hit up Mary over at Gateway Title. The team at Gateway is second to none, and we highly recommend them for all of your real estate transactions, refinancing needs, and anything of the sort. Please check them out. Huge thank you to Mary. As always, we love you. Casey Broach with KK Fitness Training. Casey is a personal trainer on the Faster Way app. She has actually gone through the Faster Way herself. This app has a crazy proven track record of helping people get to their fitness goals quicker with a healthier approach, and it's changing people's lives around the country and around the world. Casey is killing it in this area. She is passionate about helping people. She's done it herself, she believes in it, and she can walk you through this entire process. So be sure to check out at KK Fitness Training on Instagram, and you can reach out to her via email, kkfitnesstraining@gmail.com. Big shout out to you, Casey. Keep killing it. We appreciate your continued support of the 1200 Club here at Spread the Positive. Thank you so much. This episode is also brought to you by Philip Byard with Music City Hardscapes and Music City Pond Pros. Philip is a great example of all things STP, hardworking, impeccable reputation, and even better work in serving his customers. If you need any help in the hardscaping or pond maintenance world, please give my guy a shout. Be sure to check out Music City Pond Pros and musiccityhardscapes.com for more information. Huge shout out to you, Philip. Thank you for your continued support. Last but not least, this episode is brought to you by Pete Adams and Travis Swan over at Adams & Swan. Adams & Swan is your local advertising and digital marketing company that uses a results-driven approach to small and medium business revenue growth. They develop a custom strategy that is specific to your business and create dynamic advertising and digital marketing campaigns that deliver new clients and customers. Check them out at adamsandswan.com. Big shout out to my guys, Pete and Travis. Thank you for the support, guys. Means so much. Can't wait to have you in. Y'all be sure to check them out. adamsandswan.com. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Spread the Positive podcast. We got a super special show for y'all today. I got my good friend, Miss Judy King in the building. How are you, Miss Judy?
Doing great.
Good. And we also got Officer Don Godby with the Smyrna Police Department Canine Division. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So just to give a little quick overview, Judy is the president of the Smyrna Rotary Club. Thank you for that, as always. Doing an amazing job. That's an amazing group of people over there. And they got the big fish fry coming up.
22nd annual.
22nd. Wow, that's amazing. Over how many? $2 million to the community?
Oh gosh, yeah, over 2.2 already.
Wow, $2.2 million to the community. All kinds of local nonprofits have been benefited over the years. But yeah, I'll add some applause right there. So that's amazing. 2.2 million. And this year's Fish Fry is honoring canine officers, and that's why we got Officer Godby with us today. So we'll get into all that, Officer Godby's backstory, what it takes to be a canine officer, all the above. So why don't we just start there?
Sounds good.
Yeah, so give the people who you are and kind of a little overview, sir.
So my name's Officer Don Godby. I've been with the Smyrna Police Department since December of 2000. Wow. In my 24th year, and probably got a few more ahead of me. I just started working my third dog. So,
okay.
With that being said, I've probably got another 6-8 years with her as long as she's healthy.
Nice.
I got into canine when I got into law enforcement. That was my desire, and it started from seeing some dogs and being worked, and it just amazed me the level of expertise and how precise they were and things like that, and I had to know more about it.
That's so cool.
The only way to know more was just get in there and do it. So after about 7 years, I think it was, when I was at Smyrna, I got my first dog. So.
Okay. Man, it was 7 years.
Yeah.
That's a 7-year process.
Well, we already had some dogs there,
Gotcha.
so we had to wait on, some openings and things like that, and there was they came up with a dog became available, and applied for it and got it. Not on the first time, unfortunately. So
okay.
I'd actually applied for it before that. So
wow. What's that process like?
Well, it's typical application process. There were, I think, 4 or 5 of us that applied. You submit a letter of intent, why you want to, what you're passionate about it, why you want to do it, things like that. There's an interview board process, and then selection from usually a captain or assistant chief or something like that. So
wow, that's awesome.
It was. I was very fortunate. I consider myself still to this day very fortunate to be doing a job in law enforcement that I got into law enforcement to do. There's certain areas of expertise that you can get into in law enforcement, and different aspects, different things where you can specialize in areas, and a lot of people get in wanting to do those things and never have the opportunity. So I feel very fortunate that I'm still
awesome.
doing what I got into law enforcement to do.
That's amazing. So 21 year or wait,
24 years.
But with the dog,
I've been in. Well, that would be what is that? Roughly 17 years.
17 with that, man. Math.
Yeah.
Let's let the banker do the math over here. That was bad. Oh man. Well, that's awesome. So what all? Who's your dog now?
So the dog I've got now, her name is Renska.
Renska.
It's spelled Renske.
Okay.
It's a traditional Dutch name that means reborn.
Oh, that's cool.
When she came over from Europe, I believe her name was Sonia or something.
Okay.
Something,
I did church it up a little.
something lame, actually, is in my opinion. But,
that's funny, man. I love it.
But yeah, so she's a German Shepherd, Belgian Malinois mix.
Oh, wow.
You're starting to see a lot of those in law enforcement these days. Is a mix of the Shepherds and the Malinois. You get the best of both worlds. So,
what's the best of each of them?
Well, your German Shepherds, the way their instincts and things like that, they're pretty methodical dogs, especially when it comes to scent work and tracking and things like that. They're known for putting their nose down, going a little bit slower, and being very methodical about what they do. A Malinois, on the other hand, is we call them German Shepherds on crack. They've got so much drive and so much energy and so much desire to work and things like that.
Wow.
It makes them sometimes a little bit easier to train and get them to do what you want to do. So when you mix both of those, you get a very methodical dog that just really, really, really wants to work. And
Wow.
it's, if it comes out right, obviously.
Right.
But, so you're getting the best of both worlds by trying to mix them.
Makes
and
sense.
it's starting to become pretty popular these days.
That's cool. So Renska.
Yeah, she'll be 2 and somewhere around October.
Okay.
And she's got the typical markings of a German Shepherd. She's black with the brown legs and things like that, long tongue, all that good stuff.
Yep.
But she's got some of the markings in the face of a Malinois.
That's cool.
She has an extremely long tongue.
She does have an extremely long tongue.
You can take a kiss or two.
Shepherds are known for that long tongue.
Yeah,
and
they are.
it just hangs out the side of her mouth. And,
That's awesome.
makes for some interesting times when she starts slobbering. 'Cause
Oh,
she
I can
throw
imagine.
slobber everywhere with
Oh
that
boy,
tongue, so.
that's great. So what's their specialty?
Well, she's a narcotics
Okay.
scent detection dog, and she does tracking. So
Oh, wow.
she's not trained in any kind of apprehension work or building searches or anything like that. So we can use her for tracking just about anybody, whether it's kids or
Man, that's amazing.
criminals or something like that. We just,
Wow.
because she doesn't do the apprehension at the bite, you're taking a little bit more of a risk using a non-aggressive dog for that. You're taking a chance.
So
on
she's
getting,
technically non-aggressive.
she's non-aggressive
Oh,
at
wow.
all.
That's
so,
awesome.
But she does scent detection for narcotics and tracking. So.
That's cool. So like if a kid goes missing, she like
We get
show
there,
some clothes or
right.
smell some
Well,
clothes.
we try to find out based on the way she was trained. We try to find out the last place somebody saw the kid or the projected route that they may have left or something like that, and keep everybody out of that area. And we start the dog, and we train. Pretty common for us to train with cross tracks and distraction odors and things like that, trying to keep the dog focused on, if you stay on this track here and this odor that you started on, then at the end of it, there'll be a toy for you. So
There you go. There you go.
it's
Get the
pretty
T
good.
word, right?
Yeah.
The T word
She gets
transcends all dogs.
at the end of it, she gets a big black Kong with a rope on it, and we play tug of war for a little while.
boy.
So
That's amazing. That's so good.
Yep.
Man, that's so cool. That's amazing. So I don't know what you can and can't share, but any like big success stories or big wins that she's had yet?
Not yet. She's only been on the road a couple of months.
Okay.
We've had we had one the other day where, I guess it's been about a month or so ago now, where we thought there was something inside a car that had been involved in a crash, and couldn't exactly find anything. So we used her to try to pinpoint a certain area on the car, and
Sure
once
enough.
she did, we started searching that area a little bit more frugally, and ended up finding it's probably $500 or $600 worth of cocaine. So,
Oh my gosh! Wow.
yeah. So
There you-
hopefully, if she keeps working like that, and
That's incredible.
it's a matter of time before the dog will pay for itself. So,
Yeah, absolutely. That's incredible.
yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you for the work you do. That's got to be just a crazy life. 20. Well, you told me off my 3 years at Vanderbilt before 24 years at Smyrna. So thank you. Thank you for your service.
I appreciate that acknowledgement. It means a lot.
Absolutely. So, what else can you tell us? What else?
Well, this is, like I said, Renska's my third dog.
Okay.
My first one, and they've not really intentionally, but they've all been named with names that start with an R.
That's cool.
My first one was Renzo. He was a Dutch Shepherd, and he was he was a dual purpose. He did the apprehension and things like that. And they've all been different in some aspects.
Sure.
Some things about them, there's, I would say it's the best of any dog I've seen, and Renzo was a very, very loyal dog.
Man.
He was probably, of all the dogs, pets, and everything that I've had, he was probably the most loyal dog I've ever had. My second dog was Riker. Riker was a Belgian Malinois, and without a doubt, the best nose on a dog I've ever seen in my
Wow.
life. He we would typically routinely train with, a certain number of cars in an area, and he would actually pull off of the car that he's supposed to be searching and go 2 cars down to find where there were narcotics on these cars. He just had that good of a nose.
That's amazing.
And he was, I think when this whole idea of canine handlers and me being a part of the fish fry came along, I was still working Riker, if I remember correctly, and unfortunately he got cancer back in October last year and had to be put down. But,
I'm so sorry.
He was one of the best,
Man.
truly one of the best. So
R.I.P. Riker.
but this new one, she's first of all, it's first female dog I've worked.
Okay.
I cannot tell a lie. She is spoiled rotten. I've spoiled her.
That's great.
I tell everybody her name's Renska, but she doesn't answer to that. She answers to baby girl.
Okay.
So,
I love that.
it was just something I started when I first got her, and it's so she's a very, very sweet, loving dog. So
that's awesome.
Something different working a female
Yeah, I was about
dog.
to.
It's totally different than working the males.
Yeah. What are some of those differences? I mean, just.
Well, you just first of all, she's not spayed, so a couple times a year you gotta deal with her being distracted a little bit, and which we've already went through once so far since I've had her. But it's just weird working a female dog that's got a little different mindset.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot more motherly instincts in the dog, and when they get around other dogs or small kids or something, it's you can almost see that motherly instinct in the female dogs take over
cool.
and come out. So
that's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I'm
pretty
a girl dog.
And of course, because
I've always had girl dogs. They're so sweet.
Because she's a female dog and she's so sweet and loving. It's unfortunately I do treat her a little bit different than the male dog. She gets a little bit more treats and a little bit more pats on the back than the male dogs ever did.
As she should.
Right.
That's amazing. Man, that's so cool. She's brand new.
She's brand new. She got here in America from Europe in, I think it was probably sometime in March. Went through some training, and I think we ended up starting out on the road first part of June.
Okay.
So she's she's only got a couple months experience on the road. And,
that's cool. But
doing
well.
Doing real well.
That's
doing
awesome.
Very good. So.
That's awesome. Well, let's get into some of the fish fry stuff, Judy.
Sure.
Talk to us about this year, what people can expect, and obviously the canine officer aspect of it as well.
Yeah. So I chose canine officers out of just the understanding of just the time and the energy and the effort that there is. It's a constant ongoing training, and wanted to bring some light to that. And then also knowing the story of Riker, and knowing that was part of you.
Absolutely.
You truly did lose part of you.
Absolutely.
After that long time relationship.
How long do you have her?
Well, Riker was, let's see here. He was about 9.5 when he got sick, and I'd worked him since he was about 1.5 years or 2 years old. So 7.5, 8 years.
And do they go home with you?
They do.
Okay.
So it's
it's your dog.
Yeah. To expand on a little bit of what Judy said, it's different. It's a different job in law enforcement. You don't just go home or go to work, answer your calls, try to keep from getting hurt and go home to your family. You got another being that you have to worry about. That you have to take into consideration how that everything that you do involves another being there with you. So there's a lot of commitments as far as time at home. You can't just pick up and go on vacation, you know, for 3 or 4 days. You got to make arrangements for the dog. And
does that have to be special stuff? Is that like through the department or?
So fortunately so far here, there's a local business that takes really good care of us when we need to board the dogs.
Awesome. That's really
cool. They help us out quite a bit with that.
That's awesome.
If that wasn't the case, yes, I mean, we could take her to a vet and the department would pay for that and things like that. But it's, you know, of course the department gives you a little bit of money every month it's a canine stipend to pay for at-home care of the dog, but it doesn't really cover all the time and things that you spend not only taking care of the dog, but just establishing that bond when they're real new. So it's a commitment, but I always tell everybody it's the best job in law enforcement.
That's awesome.
You got a partner with you that, in theory, does what they're told to do, doesn't talk back and doesn't ask questions.
Right. So. Loyal to a fault. Man.
Loyal to a fault.
That's beautiful, man. So, I love that. Back to you, Judy.
Yeah. So
Can
this
you get
year,
a little closer?
yeah.
Sorry.
So this year, moving towards the canine officers as our honorees, knowing that is there's not a lot throughout the county, and we want to keep it Smyrna centric, Rutherford County centric in our honorees, and so you know, spotting those canine decals on cars.
Have you flagged some down?
Yeah, I have. I almost intentionally got stopped the other day.
Really?
No.
Bold strategy.
But you know, it's just. They are different, and it's not just because you're a dog person or you're this or that. There's a whole layer of a specialty in that, and just researching the very minute amount that I have with that, and then honestly, just truly hearing about Riker, I think that got me.
Oh man, that would get me for
just
sure.
thinking through the process, and that really caused me to kind of do a deeper dive into what they do and the commitment that they make. And it's a entire family commitment.
Yeah.
You know, some of these officers have kids, you know, their wives, spouses, whatever, and it's a full family commitment. And so I wanted to kind of bring some light to that.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
What all is the process for honoring, and are the dogs getting? What are the dogs getting? Sorry.
So that has been an interesting.
Without giving away your secrets.
Sorry.
That has been such an interesting portion of the honoree.
Yeah.
So we did kind of a dry run back in May.
Okay.
And we had an officer from Laverne and the county and Don come out and speak at Rotary and bring, so at the end, Rinsky came in and was almost doing flips during lunch. And so she is quite restless.
She is.
A ball of energy, but at that age, I mean, she's still considered that way. And so then Officer
awesome.
Lee Young comes in with his, and they see each other, and I'm like, I don't think we need to have 10 to 15 dogs together, because it was, you know, we were trying to make, you know, how can we do this? Do we let them come in down the honoree corridor, you know, as they're entering during the program? And, you know, I was trying to be really strategic where they're sitting this year. They could go out, get in their cars, bring the dogs, and, you know, kind of make a full circle. And then when I saw that, I was like, well, maybe just Rinsky will be here, you know?
Oh, man, Rinsky's the only one?
And so she's if he wants to bring her, she is welcome to come. But that was kind of that defining moment of maybe we don't need all these at the
Okay.
same time.
Lots of food. There's a lot of food. There's a
guess
lot
we're-
of people.
A lot of people, a lot of like squirrel,
Yeah,
you know,
for
kind
sure.
of stuff. I'm sure for them. So
I guess we're going to find out if Francisco likes catfish.
I bet she does. It's
But
always so good.
it's been really fun.
That's awesome.
I really
Can't wait.
wish that the day that I will never forget. I wish I had it recorded. The day I called Don and asked him, you know, would you be our grand marshal because you're who I'm choosing.
That's awesome.
And I want to bring honor to you for the years you've served, and you know just what he does
Yeah.
on a day-to-day basis. And that was probably one of the most special apart, you know, from experiences I've had, you know, with my family, to have that with a community partner, that was an amazing 60 seconds of emotion.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a huge honor. I don't. Just like she'll never forget that conversation, I'll never forget the invitation to be asked that. It was truly humbling. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. And he probably doesn't remember this, but I met him in Legends one day. I think we were there having a Rotary lunch or something, and he walked in, and so I knew who he was. You know, he probably had no idea who I was, but I knew who he was just from, you know, just circles,
Yeah.
you know, in Smyrna. And so it, you know, I thought it very fitting. And it really goes back to, again, the care and all that he had with Rocker, you know, during the very short-lived illness
Right.
that he had. But, you know, we're stepping some things up this year with the
yeah.
fish fry. Have you ever been?
I have been.
Okay, it's going to look completely different
Ooh.
this
Okay.
year. Yeah, so we're
Breaking
doing.
news.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
go.
intrigued.
Yeah, so this year our honorees are going to be in the VIP section in the Fisherman's Club.
Nice.
They're going to be up front and center with all of our titanium and platinum sponsors.
Nice.
And so that's a new element. We are having live entertainment, kind of like a little acoustic set in the Fisherman's Club during the appetizer time prior to the meal. Something that's so, I love the fact that, you know, we get to love on those higher level sponsors, and it's, to me, just fitting to love on our honorees as well.
Absolutely.
And so that's something I was determined, you know, to make some changes this year. And as the president of the Smyrna Rotary, you have some ability
Yeah.
to do that and kind of put your stamp on
That's awesome.
on an event that's remembered, you know, year after year.
Mhm.
So
That's awesome.
I'm looking forward to that. That sounds like a totally different setup than what I've seen, you know, the 2 or 3 times I've been in the past.
it is. It's super easy to become an honoree. I've reached out to the county. I've reached out to Murfreesboro. We were emailing back and forth last week just to encourage people to register, the officers to register. They could be current. They could be retired canine officers, and it's super easy. They go online. It's wofsmyrna.com and go under the honoree section tab. Click on it. They're asked to upload a photo, and it can be them by themselves. It can be them and their CANINE, you know, and that's been a very fun distinction to try to make sure that we're, you know, distinguishing, like, who are we honoring? Is it the human or the dog?
Right.
And it's the human with the dog.
Right.
But yeah, just it's been really fun.
I bet.
to navigate through this.
That's really cool. Well, plug away. Are y'all still looking for sponsors? Are you still?
We'll take sponsors up until the day of the event.
Yeah, right. So how do people do that?
So they can go back to that website, wofsmyrna.com,
Okay.
and under the sponsorship tab, they can click that to become a sponsor. There's different levels,
Sure.
from a $10,000 titanium sponsor down to a $500 bronze sponsorship. And they can pay then, they can be billed, whatever we can do to make it as easy as possible.
That's awesome. What else can people expect? Any other surprises or anything you want to tease the people with?
Well, when I tell you the Fisherman's Club is going to be epic this year, and just the whole layout, the hangar layout is going to be completely different.
Nice.
And
It's still in that main big one?
it is. In the Azure.
Yeah, is the Fisherman Club in there? Or is that a
It
separate?
is.
Okay.
Yep.
That's gonna be cool.
yeah, we've got the bait shack,
Right.
and that's where you come in as somebody that just has either general admission or just the other sponsorship levels. They come in and go through the bait shack. There's all kinds of goodies, appetizers, alcohol. That's the thing is you come in, give your ticket, go through the line. If you're, planning to consume any alcohol, you get a bracelet, and that gets you the access for the whole entire event. We've got local breweries, that are represented there. We've got local restaurants that are represented. And then you've got the classic cruise in.
Right.
We had the largest number of cars last year.
Yeah, there was
and
a ton
weather,
of cars.
weather is truly a definer on who's going to be there with their cars.
Right.
And so I'm married to a car enthusiast, and so I wholeheartedly understand after I'm after it's explained. So that's pretty cool, and then we cook, we cut, we cook, batter, the whole shebang on the catfish. The hush puppies are homemade. The white beans are cooked there, at the event. So we've got chicken for us who do not like fish.
That's fair. That's fair.
And fries and coleslaw.
It's a party.
Yeah,
it's always
it is.
a party.
It really
it's
is.
a good time.
And we have a great entertainer that's coming this year. She's been on American Idol.
Oh, boy.
She's a singer, songwriter, producer. She is from Alabama.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So
You got to have your spin on it.
gotta have my spin on it. I think she probably lost her accent a whole lot better than I have.
No. What accent?
That's
amazing.
But it's going to be great. Just the whole dynamic of it. It's going to still be the well-known Smyrna fish fry, Rotary fish fry, but there's going to be some spins on some things.
I'm here for it.
Yep.
When is it again?
Saturday, September the 21st.
Okay.
Gates open at 5. And so we would love to have our honorees there at 5 so they can find their way to the Fisherman's Club and, start enjoying that area and go out and, see all the other areas. But there are some special elements. I will just say that on the Fisherman's Club this year.
Special elements. Here for it. Well, this has been awesome. Be sure and get tickets. Sponsor if you can. Nominate people, or is that how it works? Can you nominate people, or do they have to do it?
All they have to do, let me go back and say this.
Okay.
Even if they can't attend,
Sure.
maybe their shift or they're on vacation or whatever, they can still register and sign up to be an honoree. That way we can still, during the program, we're going to show their photo and, who they are, where they're at, and be able to show that and their dogs, their canine partner's name, and be able to at least, honor them even in their absence.
Right.
And so they do all of that online at the website.
That's awesome. WOFSmyrna.com.
Yes.
Has all the information you need. Be sure to check it out. So, thank you again, Officer Godby. Thank you for what you do for everything, and we look forward to honoring you and your folks, man.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm looking forward to this fish fry. This is going to be
it's going to have a little special.
So, yeah.
Special.
I can't wait to go to this one. So.
Well, we'll wrap it up. Judy, thanks for being here. Thanks for all you do. You're a legend. Nothing but love for you and the First Bake family.
Thank you.
And can't wait. Smyrna Fish Fry 2024 is one for the books. Can't wait for that to go down September 21st. Gates open at 5. Y'all be sure to be there. And if your business can support, be sure to do that as well. It definitely goes to all kinds of notable causes, right?
Yes.
Do you want to
This
plug
year-
some of those? Sorry, we should have done
Yeah.
that too.
So this year we actually have a project. You know, we've worked on the Captain Coast Memorial,
Right.
and helped with that. We helped with the all-inclusive playground.
Right.
30 years ago, we received the acreage there where the Smyrna Rotary soccer park is.
Oh, nice.
And so that's actually our soccer park.
Wow.
And the North. Lord, I was fixing to say North Alabama. The North Rutherford Soccer Club, that's their home field. That field is utilized when TSSAA events are happening. It is utilized on a regular basis. And so we are working with, partnering with the town to enhance that with this year's project. We've not had a project in a couple of years. And that, there's just things that you want to be able to accomplish.
Yeah.
And I never in my life ever thought I would be a Rotary president, but I especially never would have thought after learning and just seeing the legends that come out of Smyrna Rotary, I never would think that my name would be part of that.
Come
and
on.
so I'm truly honored, and
That's awesome.
and being able to put a stamp on there that people can say, oh, okay, well,
That was
during
this year.
This year, that was that happened, and
That's awesome.
And all, so excited about that.
That's really cool. Well, definitely a notable cause. That's really amazing. And the whole thing's just really awesome. So be sure to check it out, wofsmyrna.com for all the information. And we'll see y'all there, right?
Yes.
It's going to be a party. So thank you for tuning in. Spread the Positive podcast. Officer Godby, thank you again. Judy, thank you for everything. And we'll
Thank
wrap
you.
this one up.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Spread the Positive podcast. For more information about all the things we got going here at Spread the Positive, please check us out, spreadthepositive.net. Get involved with our underwriting, advertising, sponsorship program, start a podcast, or if you just want to support the mission, reach out on spreadthepositive.net or any of our social media handles at Spread the Positive. Look forward to connecting with y'all and giving y'all another fire episode on the next one. Thank you, and we will see you then. Let's go.